do you live when every finger's pointing in your face? How do you give your heart to something only you embrace? How do you put your mind to something that you love? When you were growing up, everyone told you that you were good enough. Good enough for what for me? Instead of love, you hurt me deep. Felt my trust and watch me bleed. Ignore my faces, squash my dreams. Everything hiding underneath is coming out for you to see. The screen kept pinning down beneath the broken spirit. I'm finally free. Get up, get up, get up. I'ma show you everything I got inside. I won't give up. Never backing down, this is my fight. Everything we do in life has gotta be for something. I won't go down without a fight, no, I won't down for nothing. You held me under too long, I see you coming in. Take back your hand, you're not my friend, to me, you're fucking dead. All the things you didn't do, show me the colors inside you. I now know all your hidden truths. If I were you, shit, I'd like you. It's my turn now, I'll burn you down. Nowhere to run and out for you. It's tried and true, and I'll be through. I want your spirit die in you. Get up, get up, get up. I'ma show you everything I got inside. I won't give up, give up. Never backing down, this is my fight. Every word you said had you thinking in your head. You're giving it a day, but I'm alive. Get up, get up, get up. I'ma show you everything I got inside. You brought me down in ways I can't imagine. You made me believe you're strong. It's what I got inside, this is my fight. I hate the way you take me down. I'm not afraid, cause this is now. I hate the way you take me down. This is now. Get up, get up, get up. I'ma show you everything I got inside. Won't give up, never backing down. This is my fight. Every word you said had you thinking in your head. You're giving it a day, but I'm alive. Get up, now I'm getting up. I'ma show you everything I got inside. I hate the way you take me down. I'm not afraid, cause this is now.
All right, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel, Big Dog Brett. Thanks so much for tuning in. Don't forget to like, subscribe. Send it to your mom and them. How's everybody doing tonight? Lots to talk about. We're gonna get everybody a few more minutes here to jump on, and we'll kind of jump into it. I know I have been a bit of an absentee creator for you guys, and I apologize. There's been a lot going on, including changing of jobs. A little bit of a sickness, but we're doing really well. Let's go ahead and see what we got here in the chat tonight. Shelly Mack, what's up? Jesse Gore, how about some of that math water, sir? David Relaford, welcome back to the channel. Michael Porter, one of our resident members and great supporters of the channel. Always a pleasure to have him here. By the way, love that hat, sir. So yeah, lots going on. New job has definitely taken more time than I anticipated. That's mainly due to the drive time being about an hour and a half each day one way. So quite a bit more driving, but a lot more opportunity where I'm at now, and very, very thankful and happy to have the new opportunity ahead of me. So I just realized one of my light things over there is flickering instead of doing what it's supposed to do. But you know, it's been a while since I cranked everything up, but here we are. Real Talk 101. War Eagle Vernon Speaks. For those of you who happen to be an Auburn fan, and we apologize for your affliction, feel free to go over there and check out Vernon Speaks Sports. Vernon is a great guy. Does a pretty good job covering Auburn. However, I will go ahead and point out that Auburn is projected to only win 5.5 games this season. So if you want to jump on the money line, not money line, if you want to jump on the Vegas sites, you can actually get that right now. If you think Auburn is going to get more than 6 games, you should be able to pick up some money there. So yeah, 4-8, bro. Golly, what happened to y'all, man? You got to fix that. That's unacceptable. Unacceptable. Earn it. Unacceptable. Yeah, that's what I said. So anyway, there has been a ton of things going on. Not going to be a super long show tonight, but we are going to. I always say that I end up going over anyway. First and foremost, shout out to Big Vol Daddy. Hope you get to feeling better, sir. He has a re-injury of his foot. He's been fighting through some stuff. So you guys want to send him your thoughts and prayers, he'd much appreciate it. What's going on, Nate the Great? Glad to see you here, sir. Thank you so much for joining us. How you doing? Appreciate you being here. Let's go, Brandon. How you doing? DSA, what's up? What's happening? What's good? Yes, sir. Tanil, hi. Good to see you again. I do want to point out something for you guys. The great people over at Dog Post, Dean Legge and company. Go check those guys out. Get this book. Get this book. You're not going to regret it. It's a great book. The forward is written by Jeff Foxworthy. Ton of great pictures in here. And as you can see, Dean will sign it for you if you ask him to. He's running low on his current order. He may pick up a few more, but the very first page of this book, I'm going to go ahead and give you guys a little look here. It's the 2021 National Champs. This was the flag that they raised at the celebration ceremony. It was really nice to see them do that. It's been too long since we had that. Dean Legge does a great job throughout this whole book. Some of the best pictures you'll ever see as far as if you're a Georgia fan, go get this book. There'll never be another one like it. It's got a lot of sayings in here, a lot of great pictures, a lot of stuff you have never seen before. There's pictures in there you've never seen before, I guarantee it. So get an opportunity to go check that book out. By the way, thanks, Dean. Really appreciate this, sir. Great people over there at Dog Post. Go check them out. Like and subscribe and share with them as well. Okay, what's going on, DSA? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Welcome back to the channel. All right. So I guess we're about 10 minutes in now. We're going to get started. Pray for the ones in Texas. Absolutely. Horrific event. Regardless of where your standing is on different things, we can all agree that the death of children is an evil and terrible thing. Those taken way before their time, prayers and support and comfort to all those families out there. We really don't know what you're going through, but we want you to know we're here for you. So how much did Dog Post pay you to plug their book? They didn't pay me anything. They're just good people. So anytime I see good people, I'll plug them. By the way, for those of you now, this is also not a paid plug, but I'm gonna put it out there anyway. The people over at Amco Transmission in Canton, Georgia, I had a problem with my vehicle I needed to get taken care of. There was some kind of stutter with the transmission. Called them up. Mike, who's the general manager over there, told me to bring it in. I pull into the parking lot. They are absolutely full of cars. And I explained to him what was going on. He said, don't worry about it. We'll get you in. We'll get you taken care of. Guys, when I say they fixed my vehicle while I waited, they literally fixed my vehicle while I waited, and it was a transmission problem. So if you can imagine what that's like, it wasn't leave it here, pick it up in a couple of weeks. Their parts back ordered, none of that stuff. Got me in, took care of me. Great people, Amco Transmission in Canton, Georgia on Knox Bridge Road. So good people, go check them out. They treat you like family. Could not ask for better people. And if you're going to do business with somebody, that's the kind of people to do business with. Tell them Big Dog Brett sent you. What's up, Shane Elliott? Okay, so a couple of things we got to address. We're going to go through all the elephants in the room. I don't normally make videos about off-season stuff just because it is so sporadic information. Like, it's hard to do for me. It's hard to do a 10 or 15 minute show about something Nick Saban said. It's hard to do a 10 or 15 minute show about the Oregon Ducks fans. It's hard to do a 10 or 15 minute show about Kirby Smart's new contract. It's hard to do a 10 or 15 minute show about who's the best SEC or best coach in the country currently. I feel like I can get through all those things in about 2 minutes. And because of that, I don't want to get on here and try to stretch it out, and not that anybody else does that. I feel like that's what I'm doing, because I feel like I can get to the point and get you guys out of here and on about your day. Anyway, so first and foremost, let's talk about Oregon fans. I didn't know Oregon had any fans until about 2 weeks ago. All of a sudden, all over the message boards, these Oregon fans are talking about how they're going to beat the Dogs, and I'm going to tell you guys, like I told the South Carolina fans when they hired Will Muschamp, your head coach works for us. He works for us. He's not going to go out there and beat he's not going to go out there and beat Georgia. He's not. He's working for us. DSA, they are talking all kind of smack. What's up, G-Bama boy? What's up, Web Payne? Web Payne, hats off to this gentleman. He's the one who designed all of the logos and avatars and stuff. So, yeah, great job by that young man. Appreciate you, sir. Just a bunch of smack talking, man. Smack talking in the offseason. It's like you guys are going to spend all this time talking all this smack just to get your hinds end spanked. And it's not going to be pretty. You're not even playing in a mountain time zone. You're certainly not playing in a West Coast time zone. You're playing in Atlanta. I know they say it's a neutral site. That's about as neutral as Texas playing in Oklahoma and the other team is from Hawaii. and it's worse than that, actually. Atlanta's in the state. It's a short drive for the Dogs, you know. Those guys got to fly. They'll have jet lag. They won't know what's going to happen when they leave. What's going on, Green Soldier? Appreciate you being here, sir. So I don't know where these fans are coming from, but y'all got to help them out, man. Lesker Brandon says, I've never met an Oregon fan. All 15 of them probably related or at least know each other. So here's what's happened, right? So what I've been seeing is there are Oregon fans that, like, their insults ain't even college football related. It's like incest related, intelligence level related. Apparently they think all Southern people are negative IQ. I don't get it. Southwest Georgia EUC. Where's all that natty paraphernalia? It's upstairs. I got to put away. Don't you worry. I got plenty of it, though. It might never see the light of day because I'm scared to death I'll never get another one. And that's just because I'm a Georgia fan, which is just the way we are. We ain't seen but one in the last 40-something years, so we kind of covet the ones we got. Senor Victor. What's going on, Tricky Vicky? Appreciate you being on here, sir. Thank you so much for joining the show. Vic's good people. You guys go check out Vic 2 Productions. We very much enjoy having him on the show and having him around. His parents are great people too. So, if you guys get an opportunity, even if you're not a Georgia fan, razz these guys just because that we're the SEC. They don't understand that. What was even their record last year? I don't even know that their record was that good, was it? What was their 7-0? They went 10-4. Y'all lost 4 games in that conference? Good Lord. You're 3-2 away. Most of the games you won were at home. So you guys can't win unless you're at home. Is that what you're telling me? Oh Lord. Pac-12 North. You only got 6 teams in the North, 6 teams in the South. Oh Lord. How many teams in your even had a winning record? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 out of the 12 teams y'all has the only ones that have winning records. That's just terrible. They don't know how to talk trash. They really don't. DS1 has a new channel too. Well, go check out DS1. It's gonna be funny. They're gonna do all that smack talking about Georgia. The coach came from Georgia. It's like, what are y'all doing? I don't even know. You're insulting your own coach. Lord, remind me of Auburn fans. Good night. So Oregon, did they even finish ranked last season? Were they even ranked at all? I don't think they were. You know what? I'm going to look up something real quick while I'm sitting here, just so y'all bear with me. I want to see what the recruiting rankings was for Oregon last year. I don't remember seeing them on that list. I mean, I'm sure they were on it, but where were they at? 2022, 13. Let's see, 2021. Let's see where we at. 6. No 5 stars. How are y'all getting recruiting rankings this high and y'all still losing 4 games? Okay, ranked 12th. Y'all had 3 5 stars in 2020. Let's see, 2019, you were ranked 7. You had 1 5 star. Y'all want to talk about somebody doing the most amount with the least? I mean, doing the least with the most talent. Y'all got the most talent out there and coming up short in a big way. You got 12 4 stars in 2018. Y'all got some talent out there, but man, y'all don't know what to do with it. Just terrible. Heard a Bama commentator from Cumulus talk how we will not cover the 10.5 we're predicted to win. Who do they suspect we're going to lose to? Who do they suspect we're going to lose to? That's what I don't understand. Their best running back just transferred to USC. I don't doubt it. Well, you got an unproven head coach. You got a program that went 10-4 last season in a terrible conference. You should run that conference. You could take the 3rd, 4th, or even 5th worst team in the SEC, and they'll probably go 12-2 out there. It's terrible. It's unacceptable. Let's see what I want to pull up. There was something I was going to pull up. I forgot what it was, though. I just saw it. What was it? It's too hot in September for Oregon. Landon needs to prepare. How's he going to prepare him for the heat? They don't have any heat out there to prepare in. It's Oregon. So let's look at the weather. Weather, Oregon. Let's just do the Oregon coast. Highs 60 to 65. Lows around 50. Oh, and it's dry. It said it's going to be dry in the summer. Them ducks going to come down here and have to breathe water. They ain't going to know what to do. Anybody south of the Mason-Dixon line will tell you, you don't breathe down here. You swallow air like it's water. The air is so thick down here. We've seen plenty of teams come down here and get gassed because they're not used to the humidity. They'll be on the sideline with oxygen bottles by halftime, guarantee it. It's going to be – I used to live in the Northwest for years. I can't do the ducks like y'all. What do you mean, Webb? You mean you can't rag on them? Because I can rag on them. I can rag on them bad. My wife used to be an Oregon fan. I was a fan of watching Marcus Mariota play back when he played, man. Just so you know. Oregon was 1 spot ahead of Florida in 2018 in recruiting. Let's see, 2019. 2019, they were 2 spots ahead of Florida. Let's go 2020. They were 3 spots below Florida in 2020. And let's see, 2021. And they came in 6th in 2021. The Gators came in 12th. Oregon had 19 4-stars. Florida had 1 5-star and 12 4-stars. And look how bad we absolutely smoked Florida. Oh, even without the heat, I think we outwork them as well. I think it's going to be difficult for any of them guys to come down here and play. Georgia's very, very deep and very, very talented. One of the things I've tried to explain to people is that Georgia, even though Georgia is put however many guys we put in the NFL, it's like 50 or 60 or 70. I'm not sure how many guys we put in there last year or this year, however you want to look at it. Here's the problem. Nobody expected Georgia to put that many guys in the NFL. And the reason Georgia was putting that many guys in the NFL is because Georgia was developing those guys, just like they're developing the guys that are going to be playing this year. Most of the guys that played this year, even though they weren't starters, they played quite a bit in these games. It's not like Georgia's drawing from an empty well. And I think that's hilarious that people think that. Georgia has been right up there in the top recruiting for the last, I don't know, forever. So if we go to 2021, Georgia's ranked 4th. And four 5 stars and 11 4-stars. We go to 2020. Georgia's ranked number 1. We go to 2019. Georgia ranked number 2. We go to 2018. Georgia ranked number 1. I mean, this is not a new trend. Go to number 2017. Georgia's number 3. Guys, ever since Kirby Smart showed up on campus, and even if you go back as far as 2016, we were ranked number 6th, but 3 5-stars and 11 4-stars. Georgia's absolutely loaded at the talent level. Is Georgia going to run it back? I don't know. I can't say that we're going to run it back. That's difficult for anybody to say unless you're an Alabama fan. They say that every year, and half the time they're right. So they're not used to the line of scrimmage play Georgia's loaded up at. Carter is the best defensive tackle nation. He's got a lot of help on the edge. Nolan Smith, Bill, MJ Sherman, MJJ, Cedric Van Pran is on the line. You got Truss on the line. Jamari Sawyer. Isn't Jamari Sawyer still here? I don't know. There's so many amazing talented guys. It's hard to keep up with. They are not loaded like that at Oregon. And if they were, they don't have anybody there to develop them. They went 10-4 with all that talent. They went 10-4 with all that talent in a bad conference. And people say what they want to about that conference. It's a bad conference. Nobody stays up to watch Washington versus Oregon. No. People will stay up and watch Auburn versus Tennessee. People will stay up and watch Ole Miss versus Georgia when we play. People will stay up and they will watch Georgia, Alabama, no doubt. People will stay up and watch Florida versus LSU. People will stay up and watch good football, but they're not going to sit around 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning and watch these terrible teams out in the Pac none. If you look at the Pac-12, I mean, let me see if I can pull it up here. So the Pac-fail. Let's see. Utah. I think Utah was probably the best team last season coming out of that conference. I'll have to double check, but the thing that blows my mind is you get all these fans that seem to think they're going to beat Georgia, and it's like, dude, Cincinnati is way better than you guys. What are you even talking about? What are you talking about? I'm having to look around my camera to see my screen. So Cincinnati ranked 4, Baylor, Ohio State. Utah was 12th in the country, and they were 10-4. Do they even have another team in the top 25? Oregon at 22, and what? Maybe San Diego State is that a Pac-12 team? No, a bunch of garbage teams, man. They don't have a team inside the top 10. They don't have a single team in the top 10. Insane. They're gonna beat Georgia. Okay. What's up, Extreme X? First of all, here's the way, and I get what you're saying, Webb. I get what you're saying, but here's the problem. Like, half of the population of the United States is in California. If those teams were any good, people would watch that stuff. But the guys at ESPN don't even watch it. And they're paid to do the job to watch it. They don't watch it. The coaches don't pay attention to it. Players don't really pay attention to it. What's going on, GJ? Green Sully says, I'll be listening, but I have to go. I appreciate that, sir. I mean, there's just I don't get where all of this confidence all of a sudden comes from. What's going on there, Uncle Lou? Good morning and that. Glad to see you join the show, sir. Big dog, we got to take caution at the volume. We'll get into that. We'll get into Tennessee here in a little bit. That's probably the biggest threat that we have to deal with in the East, no doubt. But we'll see how they do. UGA fans better thank voters for that ticket to the playoff. Facts. Yeah, clearly Georgia was not the best team in the country. So yeah. And clearly Georgia did not deserve to be there, sir. You're absolutely correct. I just figure they don't breathe football. They don't breathe football like we do. Nobody does. People from California are soft. Maybe because the weather's so nice all the time. But this is what I know. You take a terrible Oregon team. They're terrible in their own conference. They've had pretty decent recruiting classes, but they can't seem to cultivate anything. They have a brand new head coach who came from Georgia, which I think was riding the coattails of Kirby Smart and Will Muschamp. I think those guys were the defensive masterminds that we saw. But, give him credit where credit's due. Maybe he did. But I'm going to tell you like this. Dan Lanning knows the mountain that he's going to have to climb just to look competitive. And I got a feeling that Kirby Smart and company are not going to take it easy on him. They're going to grind and be mean and physical. It's like you've been on the number one race car team in the country for 3 or 4 years, right? And all of a sudden, and I'm not saying Georgia's been number one for 3 or 4 years. That's not what I'm saying. Don't put words in my mouth. I'm just saying, hypothetically speaking, you're part of a race car team, and this race car team's coming in first and second all the time. And then all of a sudden, they move you to a team that comes in 22nd and 23rd all the time. And they expect that one coach, that one driver to all of a sudden eclipse the team that's consistently coming in first and second. It's not going to happen. It is not going to happen. It is terrible. And here's the thing. Dan Lanning knows that he doesn't have a shot at beating Georgia. But the Oregon fans don't yet. And he's in a position where he's got to be like, yeah, we can take them. Oh, I know just what to do. Yeah, right. Oregon should be doing better in the NIL with Nike money. When you care so much about how you look rather than how you play, that's the problem you get. If you cared as much about playing as you do about how you look, you might stand a better chance, but you don't. It's all about how you look. How do you look? Do you look good? Do you have some reflective stickers on your chest? Yay! No, it's terrible. You're gonna get gobsmacked, dude. Oregon will collect the check. That's about the only bright spot, maybe. Big Dog Brett shouldn't be saying that Alabama team that lost to the barn and then got in with one loss. Not sure I know what you mean. Every team that has ever made the playoffs got voted in. Hashtag Kleenex. Same point as 2007 Tard. Yeah. Listen, Georgia, when you watch these teams play, and you can be objective, when you watch a team play, it's pretty clear to see who the better team is. And everybody knew Georgia had a great football team. Everybody knew Alabama had a great football team, and they knew that those two teams were the best two teams in the country, and nobody else was close. When Georgia played Michigan, they proved it. When Alabama played Cincinnati and smacked them around all over the place, they proved it. There was no other two teams in the country that could have beat Georgia or Alabama. The only team in the country that could have beat Alabama was Georgia, and the only team that could have beat Georgia was Alabama. That's it. What's up, Trenches? What's up, great man? So are we waiting on Georgia to win it again every 100 years, like 100-year flood? Georgia's embarrassing. How's the salt where you're at, sir? Are you having trouble finding it? Because it doesn't look like it. It looks like you got plenty of salt. Plenty of salt. Bama didn't win the SEC in 2017. They are still national champs. Stop crying, embarrassing yourself. Being the SEC champ and not being the national champ is something that only fans of that team brag about because that's all you have to brag about. Everybody knows that if you had an opportunity between having an SEC championship or having a national championship, you take the national championship. That's what it's all about. It's nice to say, yeah, we're 13 or 14 times the SEC champ. That's wonderful. Where's your natty at? That's the question that's going to come right behind it. Unless you can say, we won one in the last, I don't know, relative amount of history, it doesn't matter. What's up, what's up, Tiger Raven? I almost called you Tiger Baskets. I'll take that natty every year. Yes, sir. The point of the matter is that whether you're in the conversation or you're not in the conversation is a direct result of how you played throughout the season. You can have a bad game. You can get beat by a team. The reason we vote to have a playoff system is to try to make it more fair. I think it's pretty fair because twice they have proven that a team can lose a game and be the national champion. They can lose their own conference and be a national champion. They've proved it twice. They did it with Alabama, and then last year did it with Georgia. These 3-year-old gump crybabies are hilarious. What's funny is that the conversation is not even about Alabama. It's about Oregon, Georgia. It's pretty clear what's fair money. Or fair is money. I'm not sure I know what you mean, Grandman. When AJT said he would be thanking the voters for getting in, what I mean is it shouldn't be saying the same about. What I mean is, I guess you mean shouldn't we be saying the same? Yes, we should. I'm gonna tell you right now, whenever Alabama got in the championship, the playoff in 2017, I was the first one to complain about it because I'm like, you should win your conference. And that's only because I didn't want to have to play Alabama again because I knew what would happen. Did they deserve to be there? Yes, they deserve to be there. Obviously, they won the national championship. It's AJT special needs. He might be. Big Dog, have you seen Alabama's schedule? We're going to lose at least 2 games. I have not looked at you guys' schedule, but I can. Schedule. Well, you're not losing to Utah State. You're not going to lose to Texas. You're not going to lose the ULM or Vandy or Arkansas or Texas A&M or Tennessee. Where do you see 2 losses at? I don't think you're going to lose to Ole Miss because Lane Kiffin is just he's a desperation machine. He doesn't know what he's doing. And I don't think Nick Saban will make the same mistake twice with Texas A&M. So I don't know what you're getting after. It's possible. They'll lose to Arkansas? I don't know. I'll have to dig further into that. Michael Porter says, thumbs up, everyone. That would be great. Much appreciated. Some of them BDB have to make it about them. Some people do that. But that's all right. We'll get through it no matter what. All right, so I think we can kind of put that Oregon thing to bed for a little while. We'll circle back to that later on. One of the things I do want to talk about, though, is the Jimbo Fisher, Deion Sanders, Nick Saban hilarity. First of all, Nick Saban has gotten to the point of celebrityism, infamatism, whatever you want to call it. Not infant, but infamous. He's got that what you call FU money, right? Not FSU money, but FU money. He can say whatever he wants to say. He can do whatever he wants to do. He can play the game however he wants to play it. And it's pretty clear. What's up, K-Man? It's pretty clear that there's not a whole lot of people going to be able to say anything. What I will tell you, though, is it is absolutely hilarious the kind of response that he elicited out of Jimbo Fisher. I mean, it was just like he just walked there and went, jerk your chain, make you act however I want to make you act. The way Jimbo Fisher, I got to have a press conference and I got to seem all mad and all this other stuff. That was just absolutely theater. He gets up there and just wilds out. He calls a man despicable about 15 times, basically accuses Nick Saban of cheating. And I'm like, first of all, I ain't never seen anybody react with that amount of ferocity that wasn't trying to hide something. I'm not saying he was trying to hide anything, but I'm saying it's awfully suspicious. You know, if somebody gets caught, somebody gets accused of stealing and they're not stealing, they'll go, I didn't steal that. What are you talking about? You can check. Have at it, man. I didn't do anything wrong. Yeah, here's my receipt. I didn't steal nothing. But to get up there and how dare you accuse me of stealing? And I didn't steal. You all be ashamed of yourself. Come on now. That was unnecessary. It was. I mean, I understand you got to get up there and kind of defend your school and somewhat defend your reputation, but there was a much classier way to do it than that. I feel like the way Nick Saban said it. What's up, Pastor Dave? Appreciate you being a member, sir. The way Pastor Dave did it, he gets up there. Not Pastor Dave. Listen to me. The way that Nick Saban gets up there and he goes, I mean, it was just kind of matter of fact. He's like, Texas A&M bought all their players. Now, listen, I'm not going to say Texas A&M bought all their players, but what I will say is that if people are openly admitting, and by the way, right after that, one of the players came out and said that he had his NIL threatened by the university. That ain't going to look good either. Jimbo's scared he needs to produce. You're right. When you get out there and you act like that, and then you don't expect people to say something. So Nick Saban gives an apology. Nothing better than a geriatric fight, right? Nick Saban gets out there and basically says, well, I apologize for singling somebody out, but I don't apologize for the rest of it. I thought that was just the coolest way of saying, yeah, I don't care. What you gonna do to me? Fire me? Who's this Brett guy? I don't know. I'm still looking for him. Uncle Lou says the only reason it got blown out and humiliated by Utah twice is because Bama was had an injured wide receiver. Nick Saban gets out there and he makes a statement that they bought all their players. I don't remember him one time saying that Jimbo Fisher bought a player. Nobody's talking about that, though. The way I look at it is they didn't have any kind of recruiting classes like that ever before. And now all of a sudden they got a record-breaking recruiting class at the same time that all this NIL stuff shows up. Yeah, I'd be a little suspicious too. Now, on the flip side of the coin, I will say maybe Nick Saban was trying to elbow his supporters and be like, y'all got to start putting some money on the table if you want me to compete for this pay-to-play nonsense. Yes, Texas does have a lot of money and this, that, and the other, but I think it's still early stages of the NIL, and I think some of the stuff's going to fade off. Not all of it, but some of it's going to fade off. You got players never going to see the field. Folks want to know where the money went. You're going to have players that transfer. Folks going to want to know where the money went. You're going to have players that make bad decisions in the game, and people are going to accuse them of taking money from somebody else because they already been bought once. This whole thing has got a lot more complications to it than we don't even know yet. So, Trenches is absolutely correct. You can get the best class year in and year out, but what can you do with it? Well, if you're Oregon, not much. If you're Florida, not much. Not that they got best classes, but they don't really do all that good. Yes, Saban did say A&M paid for every player on their team, but he did not say Jimbo Fisher. Now, when I can say Georgia ain't won a title in 40 years, am I talking about the players? No, because not all those players have been there 40 years. Am I talking about the fans? No, I'm not talking about it. I'm talking about it all together. So there's a lot more to it than that. How many coaches has Nick got fired? I don't know. I didn't know that Nick had gotten anybody fired. How many coaches have worked for Nick Saban, though? That's a better question. Why did he bring Deion Sanders into it? I think Deion Sanders brought himself into it. because you got a 5-star player that apparently somebody promised $1 million to, and that stuff gets leaked out or whatever. I mean, in the conversation of players being bought, it certainly makes you raise an eyebrow. Now, do I agree that that's how that player went to Jackson State or whatever? No, I don't. I don't know why that player went there. Maybe he was, maybe it was money. Maybe it was that maybe he was a big Deion Sanders fan and he wanted to play for Deion Sanders. Maybe he met Deion Sanders and team and he just felt a better cohesion with them. I don't know. But what I'm saying is that it looks awfully suspicious. And I think a lot of people would agree with that. Now, do I think that they bought anybody? No, I don't necessarily think they physically bought anybody. And by definition, he didn't break any rules. No rules were broken. So when you got a player he's going to school, he's following all the rules and not breaking law. By the way, it's still against the rules for the NCAA to still against NCAA rules for a university to give to pay players like that. But I mean, there's nothing we can do at this point. Yes, he mentioned them. I'm not saying he didn't mention them. But he never said Deion Sanders. He never said Jimbo Fisher, at least not that I can find. Supposedly Fisher was hired and then canceled by UAB because Saban didn't want to recruit against him. Well, I mean, that's part and parcel of the game, man. Anyone else find it funny that during all this yelling back and forth that Texas A&M's 5-star quarterback transfers out? I didn't know that. What people also miss, Saban also said all the stuff he said were printed in articles, so he was basically repeating what he had already been printed about both schools and NIL. There's no doubt. He never said they broke the rules. I'm just telling you. I think part of it is part of that was him getting attention on the school to get more money from the boosters. There's a lot there. There's a lot there. So Nick Saban doesn't really say anything all nilly-willy, I guess is how you pronounce it. But I think that he's going to be able to say whatever he wants to. And I think there's him coupling that with coming out and telling people, I need y'all to give me money, or you boosters need to get your stuff together. Just a nice way for him to get after it. There's no fear in Saban. I don't know about that. G-Bama boy. I'll be honest with you. Whenever you look at the pockets of the NILs around Nick Saban, yes, he does have some people that are boosters. Don't get me wrong. But when you look at the markets, what major market headquarters is in Alabama? What major markets are in Texas? Well, I should say major companies, I should say. What major companies are in Texas? What major companies are in Alabama? What major companies are in Georgia? Now, you may turn around and say, oh, but there's Alabama boosters all over the country. Same is true for Texas. Same is true for Georgia. So when I believe Saban is scared of the NIL, because I believe he's got to look at what he can draw from and go, yeah, I don't have the same thing they have in Texas. Yeah, I don't have the same thing they have in Georgia. Yeah, I don't have the same thing that they have in Florida. Texas has a lot more than just oil money. They got a lot more than just oil money, but they do have a lot of that. But I mean, at the end of the day, it's really going to come down to what kind of rules are put in place, how can you do it, and there's still going to be that thing about who's going to coach them the most and put them in the NFL. Well, Georgia is probably one of the better positioned teams at this point. And yeah, I'm a homer. I get it. Duh. But Georgia just won a national championship against Alabama. Georgia has a great reputation for putting players in the NFL because we just put 70 in there. And Georgia has a coach who's going to be around much longer than Nick Saban. Georgia's a major market, and they got some big boosters out there. So that huge hostess money. I bet you just looked that up. So, I mean, there's a lot of things out there going on, but I don't think Nick Saban's necessarily wrong for what he said. He may be wrong for the way he said it, but in principle, he ain't wrong, because there's no reason that all those talented players go play for Jimbo Fisher, who only beat Nick Saban one time. And I mean, they're a good team. Texas A&M, great team. But do they have the reputation and the national championships that Nick Saban has? No. Do they have the number of Heisman Trophy winners Nick Saban has? No. So is there a reason for that many highly talented players to go to Texas A&M without the NIL money? No. So that being the case, one could fairly say that the NIL greatly affected those players, i.e., they were bought. All right, the way you set that up, Tricious. No idea where Hostess is made. Just know that Alabama has tons of ding-dongs. Bottom line is that NIL has and is ruining the sport, and it's insane how people just can't get their heads around that. Appreciate that, Bubba, man. Appreciate it. Is NIL ruining the sport? That's a conversation for another day, but it is definitely affecting the sport in a big way. In a big way. And I don't know that I like the way it's being affected. I don't know the sport's been ruined. I think that, well, maybe if you're not a Georgia or Alabama fan, it's probably been ruined for you. Because if you're a Clemson fan, they fell off a cliff. Tennessee is trying to get their stuff figured out. Auburn's near the point of irrelevance again. So is Florida. Vanderbilt's never been. So, yeah, there's quite a few things out there. Gray Man says the SEC's been doing NIL for years. Sir, many programs across many conferences have been caught doing things they wasn't supposed to do as far as recruiting and paying players and all other stuff. It ain't just the SEC, and it ain't just Georgia. Yo, BDB, that Clemson comment was uncalled for. Hey, man, a little salt. I got to give a little spice for everybody, man. A little bit of spice for everybody. Listen, if I still have to hear those 40-year comments, I'm gonna give some salt out there. Thoughts on Arch Manning to Texas or NR? Or NR? What do you mean NR? I'm not smart enough to figure that one out. If there is a cap that all schools can afford across the board, this will stop super teams from being bought and rumors being thrown around. You can't stop people from making money off of their own name. The Supreme Court's already ruled on that. So they have set a hurdle that's going to be difficult to correct. He said, no, not NR. I don't know if he goes to Texas. If he goes to Texas, I don't know why he would. But if he comes to Georgia, I don't know why he would, other than hell, we got a 4-star and 2 5-stars playing behind a walk-on who just won that championship. So I don't know. Once again, don't know what we're doing at the quarterback position. Saban will to fall off in recruiting if he's 1-3. Bama will a major player. I don't speak Bamanese. You got to tighten that up for me, brother. Help me out. At the end of the day, it's really going to come down to the ability to make it fair for all teams somehow. And if they do that, the only way that I can imagine them doing that is to say that players, and this is the problem because you're limiting a person, players can only receive so much money in NIL. That's it. That's all you can do. There's a cap. That's the only way I can see to fix it. But you're going to get teams like Georgia Southern University nobody's ever going to fill those pockets. So what do you do? Shadow, I get I see what you're getting at, but I think that there's always going to be players who want to be bought, and there's always going to be players who just want to play for their team. And there's players that they don't worry about the money now. They will worry about making the NFL. That's part of their concern. or they want to develop at Georgia. There's going to be players that want to develop at Texas. There's going to be players that want to do that at Clemson, at Ohio State, at Alabama, at Florida. And there's always going to be some of that. And it's a matter of how you build the culture at those schools that's going to determine whether or not you can. Appreciate that, Trenches. Glad to be back. It's always going to be how you manage that culture as to what kind of talent you can get. If you're putting 15 players in the NFL, you're going to be able to pull whoever you want for the most part. Now, if Arch Manning wants to go to Georgia, I don't know why he would. We got 2 guys sitting behind Carson Beck that broke all kinds of records in Georgia. And they're probably, I don't know, I'm never going to see the field this year for whatever reason. So, yeah, there's that. That 5-foot walk-on can carry the load this year. Georgia defense won't be at the level it was last year. G. Bama boy, please help me understand why you think that, because you didn't think Georgia's defense was going to be as good as it was last year when last year's season started. Do you think that all of a sudden Kirby Smart forgot how to develop talent? I don't know. Ever since maybe Roquan Smith, Georgia's had pretty elite defenders. Now, it may not be as good, but that's an easy statement to say. But that doesn't mean it won't be more than good enough. You got Will Muschamp and Kirby Smart, 2 of the best defensive minds on the planet for college football, but the defense is going to be terrible. Is that what you're saying? Because you got to qualify that statement. Okay, last thing here, and yes, I do, K-Man, and he should do it pretty easy. Last thing here, Kirby Smart apparently is coming up signing going to be reviewing a contract, signing his new contract. Some people are saying that they're expecting for him to get a $10 million a year for the next 10 years as a contract. That's pretty intense. So Georgia will always going to have a good defense under Kirby. That is correct. Let's see. G-Man Boy says it will be good, but Brett experience matters. Yes, it does. And here's the thing, and even Paul Feinbaum said this, and numerous other players have said this, numerous other coaches have said this, numerous other commentators have said this. You could not tell when Georgia was swapping out for its number 2s in games. You couldn't tell. What does that tell you? It tells you that all the guys went pro have got guys just as good standing right behind them. So, yeah. Yeah, super teams are probably going to be a problem. And unless you're one of the more reputable teams right now, or you live in an area that's got deep pockets like Texas A&M, you're going to struggle. What you're probably about to see, though, is that you're going to see more teams from the Northeast and on the West Coast become much more prevalent. Oh, Trenches with the PayPal link, man. I forgot I even had that thing. He said, feel free to donate to the cause, y'all. Appreciate that, sir. Yeah. Revenue been a little slim in the off season. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I think my last time I checked my AdSense account, it was like $28. Balling money. It tells me, go Dogs, get a rag to all my friends and neighbors. Get to rag all my friends and neighbors. Yes, sir. I mean, I appreciate the trash talk. I really do. How do I become a super fan again? You have to become a member. If you hit the join button, you can select your level. I think we have a sideline or tailgater, a sideline, and skybox or something like that. I forget what it is. But one of those 3. You can also still order shirts at the store. Big Dog Brett's Bay House. Good Lord. Big Dog Brett's Dog House on Teespring. So it should be in the link in one of the description of the videos. You can buy yourself a t-shirt, a hat, a hoodie, a neck gaiter, a couple other things on there. I want to put some more stuff and some new stuff on there. But yeah. Trench has been a fan since we started. He's been a member. So has Pastor Dave. Web Pain was for a while. What's up, D4? What's up, D to 40? I don't see the joint. Did YouTube move it again? What? Is your serial killer channel still active? It is, sir. I got to put some more content on that. Things have been a little slow here in the off season for sure. I kind of wind down a little bit. I spend time with the family and kids and all that good stuff. So let me pause that. Pause. If you're watching online, next to my description, there'll be join, and then I think it's down there. But yeah, I'm doing some more videos on that. I did have the green screen up. I took it down for the night because I wanted to have the old backdrop up for a while, and then I'll change out to that again soon. Who do I think will finish behind Georgia in the East? Tennessee. I think Josh Heupel's doing a good job up there. No, I haven't given up on it, but here's the thing. So I'll talk about that real quick, and I'm going to close the show out. But by the way, Kirby Smart deserves whatever he wants for his new contract. Give the man whatever he wants. Also, Georgia's doing like an $80 million, it might have been $50 million, but I think it was an $80 million renovation to one of their facilities that the players are going to be in. I forget which one it was, but go check that out because it's going to be absolutely phenomenal. The Duke's Mayo Bowl. Woo. The other channel. Yeah. So the other channel, whenever I tell one of those stories, I have to read the story. I have to kind of remember it. I have to make sure I get all my facts straight, and then I have to make it, and then I have to edit it. And then if I make a mistake, I have to fix the mistake in the edit. So it's not like doing a live stream. It's not like doing college football because that I can just kind of talk freely, but unless I'm making, one of the fancier videos, but it's a lot more involved. It's fun. It's definitely fun to do, but it's just a lot more involved. And because it's a lot more involved and I've had a lot more going on and a lot less time, it's been pretty tough. So yeah, I'll put it on the back burner for now, but yeah, there'll be more on it soon. Finkel is Einhorn. What's up, P Digits? Trisha says, I agree. Brett Hooker might be one of the best returning quarterbacks, highly slept on. He ain't bad. Probably one of the best quarterbacks in the SEC East for sure. Kirby brought the process to Georgia. Pay the man. And here's the thing: the man's already going to live in Georgia. He's already a Georgia legend, and he's still there. I can only name one other head coach that is coaching at the school that he won the championship against Saban at, and that's Dabo Swinney. So there might be another one, but I don't know who it is. Nobody has beaten Nick Saban and still coaching at their head college. Hashtag pay the man. That ought to be a hashtag, hadn't it? Hashtag pay the man. Speaking of pay the man, hit the pay. They caught me off guard, Trenches. Caught me off guard. Whew, that was pretty good. Speaking of pay the man, I thought she was going to say something else. Kane plus going out and getting Saban's playbook. Hey, man. Whatever works, works. It's college football. It's war. You got to do what you got to do. Well, guys, we're rolling up on an hour. I said it wasn't going to be long. Of course, I lied again on that. It ended up being an hour show. If this is your first time watching the show and you made it this far, don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and share. If you are here now, don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and share. Just throw it out to Facebook somewhere. Much appreciated. So, yeah, don't listen to Trenches. I listen to Trenches all the time. I call him on his personal cell. Sleeping on Hooker was funny. You got to admit, that's clever. All right, guys. So we're going to call it a night. Much appreciate you guys being here. Thank you so very much for sticking around, keeping me on your notifications when the show pops up. You guys are what I do this for. It gives me somebody to talk to besides myself in the shower or in the basement, standing in the corner. So, yeah. Hit me up if you guys ever want to see anything. You ever got a video request, feel free to put it in the comment section. I'll make that video for you. We're going to be doing some more videos coming up soon. We're going to be doing the preview and prediction videos for the season. We're going to be doing the top returning players, which I do every year for the teams that I want to do them for, where I think Georgia's schedule is going to pan out. A couple other schedules, I think, how they're going to pan out. We'll look at some other recruiting news as it comes along. I don't buy too much in this part of the season, but some of it's worth talking about. And we're also going to talk about how I think Georgia's who's Georgia's key players are going to be besides Brock Bowers and McIntosh and those guys. So we'll talk about some more about that another time, but we really got a lot to talk about in this offseason before the season starts. We're only about 3 months away, guys. Can you believe it? Half of the offseason, or more than half of the offseason is already over. Thank goodness. About to lose my mind. Have a great day. God bless. Go Dogs.